We welcome you to this broadcast of girls varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We are here at Sidney High School, the Hive, where the Stebbins Indians will take on the Sidney Yellow Jackets. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. You're looking live here at the Hive at Sidney High School. My name's Brandon Coverman, and alongside me, Scott Fry, and a Miami Valley League showdown that's in the second part of its double round robin. These teams met on December 3rd back at Stebbins High School, and Sidney took that game by a score of 50-18. And Scott, every game that Sidney's played this year in the Miami Valley League, they've won.
Man, they're off to a great start, and, well, I guess we could stop saying that because we're kind of halfway through the year. But, yeah, they are 11-0 in conference play, and they lead the Valley League. They sit atop that grouping, but they also have the best record in the whole MVL. So, number 2 coming in there, Vandalia Butler, the next best. But, yeah, Coach Jamal Foster has got these ladies playing some great basketball. Butler sits atop the Miami division at 10-1.
And taking a look at the Stebbins Indians again, we said they played to a 50-18 loss to Sidney back on December 3rd. This is a team that's lost 3 games in a row for Coach Al Cridge. They're sitting at 3-8 overall in the Miami Valley League, trying to score an upset victory, which will be their biggest win of the season.
Absolutely. And, for Stebbins, the last 3 opponents, West Carrollton, Tip, and Butler, all on the road and all in the upper end of the conference. So a little bit of a tough run there. Their last win came on, looks like December 29th. They hosted Graham in a low-scoring affair. So, absolutely would be a huge win for Coach Cridge and the Indians if they could come in here and get it done today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Welcome back here to Sidney High School as we are getting ready for girls varsity basketball action. The junior varsity contest just prior was won by Stebbins by a score of 39-20 as we take a look at our starting lineups. First for the Stebbins Indians, a 5'5 freshman, number 3, Aubrey Fritz. 5'8 sophomore, number 15, Tori Kilbasso. Lead scorer for the Stebbins Indians, 7-point in the contest. Number 12, a 5'4 junior, Zoe Ledbetter. Number 22, 6-foot junior, Addison Weimer. And rounding out the lineup, Number 32, Sarah Holt, a 5'7" senior. The Indians are coached by Al Cridge. And as we get ready for Sidney and their starting lineups, again brought to you by Emerson Climate Technologies here on NKTelco Sports. As we get ready to introduce the Lady Indians, 5'7" senior, number 3, Lexi Brewer. 6'1" senior, number 34, Reagan Clark. And 5'8" sophomore, number 5, Jordan Scully. 5'9" senior, number 23, future Findlay Oiler, Allie Stockton. And rounding out the lineup, number 4, a 5'9" sophomore, Larkin Vordemark. The Sidney Yellow Jackets are coached by fourth-year head man Jamal Foster. And thank you for Emerson Climate Technology for sponsoring those starting lineups. Let's take a look now at the keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Stebbins Indians, Scott.
All right, so keys to the game for Coach Al Cridge and the Stebbins Indians. First one, no second chance shots, so clean the glass on defense. Don't give that Sidney offense second looks. They also want to limit turnovers and protect the basketball, which is key to any win, really. And then aggressive on defense. No easy baskets for the Yellow Jackets.
And for keys to the game for Sidney.
For Coach Jamal Foster, they want to get a fast start on offense. They want to work hard on offense to get open. In other words, make yourself available for good shots. And then finally, they want to control the glass, control the rebound game, because, again, that sets up those second chance opportunities.
Shot by Stockton is good. And she'll have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play to start the game for the future Findlay Oiler, Allie Stockton.
That foul is going to be called on Addison Weimer. Of course, her first foul of the night.
And taking a look at our officials tonight, our referee is Dylan Charning. Our umpires are Cad B. Ransom and Seth Middleton, as Stockton finishes the three-point play right there. 3-0 Jackets on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
So absolutely a great start, as Coach Foster wanted to get going early, and the old-fashioned three-point play is successful for the Jackets.
Shot no good from the corner. Scully off and running. Scully to her classmate Vordemark, who can't quite finish at the basket. Stockton goes up, no good, as Weimer clears the boards.
Well, Ellie Stockton able to get that second opportunity, but down in the trees, a lot of traffic down there, unable to finish.
Fire another three from Stebbins. No good. Weak side rebound up and no good. Stebbins launching some threes here early. Stockton to the left side, inside to Vordemark. Vordemark through the zone, wraps around. Beautiful play by Larkin Vordemark, the super sophomore.
Boy, nice athletic move there. We saw her brother Miles. I'm going to assume they're related in some manner.
Correct.
Miles went off last night, had the game pick with Sidney. Miles hung 33 in a Sidney loss.
Stebbins throwing up some threes here early. Rebound to Stockton. She didn't have control. And they're laughing at each other, saying, what the heck were you there for? Kind of a little funny moment on the floor, as Stockton and Brewer have played tons of games together. They're both seniors. Even though Brewer did tear her ACL last year, these two have played together for a long time.
Yeah, you can see the chemistry there, and so happy to see Lexi be able to come back from that. See that big knee brace on her right knee.
Trying to drive on the inside. Sidney trying to apply pressure, clogging that lane. And Stebbins does turn it over, and Sidney does a nice job applying that pressure there, Scott.
Yep, absolutely. And that pressure ends up resulting in a Stebbins turnover, albeit kind of an unforced turnover, just a mishandling of the basketball, and Sidney's in business, leading 5-0.
Brewer walks it up slowly. As Coach Jamal Foster shouts out the instructions against the zone defense. Sidney played Piqua on Wednesday night, game I called, and right open there is Stockton, wide open down low.
Man, what a nice pass down inside. Allie Stockton got herself open on the right block, and there was no defense there. Perfectly executed, 7-0 Jackets.
And Stebbins trying to apply a zone, which Sidney saw Wednesday night against Piqua, and shot is no good, but a foul there. Going to the line will be Sarah Holt.
That personal called on Larkin Vordemark. Her first, team first, and to the line for Stebbins. This will be senior Sarah Holt.
And the only senior in this starting lineup here for Stebbins High School. Again, from Riverside, Ohio. Just if you take a look if you go off I-70, close to Wright State University is where Stebbins High School is located at. As Holt, it's the first free throw. I know that because I went to Wright State a lot, and I pass there all the time.
Yep, Mad River School District.
Shot's no good. Rebound down to Stockton.
5 boards already for Sidney to go with their 7.71 lead. So, again, that hot start for Coach Foster. Exactly what he's getting from the young ladies here.
Really packing those elbows where Sidney likes to run a lot of their offense from. Brewer over to Stockton on the left side. Scully, she likes to fire threes, and it's just a little too much there. Rebound down to here to Kilbasso.
Nice job that time of getting on that rebound, and let's see if Stebbins can get this half-court offense going here, Brandon.
And it's Sidney pressure has been a lot here. It's been hard to set up a half-court offense, and you're right there. 5:17 to go here in the first quarter. 7-1 Jackets on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Yeah, Fritz trying to go on the left side on the little dribble weave here. Jackets providing really good defense as they straddle the line and they force Holt out of bounds. It'll be Sidney basketball.
Yeah, Sidney doing a nice job. They guard the ball very closely, and there's just nothing the ball handlers can do to get the ball inside. So credit the Sidney defense with a good start. As you see, Coach Cridge now going to sub in Kenzie Roche, the freshman, wearing number 1.
Scully up ahead in the forecourt. Scully to the left side, and that was easy money there for Jordan Scully, the sophomore.
Boy, it sure was. She just ripped through the defense. Just looked like the defense just never really reacted. Maybe they were expecting her to dish it off, but easy bucket. 9-1 Jackets here.
You see, too, Sidney mixed up their lineup a little bit. Khalees McNeil did start. Khalees McNeil at the scores table now to come in. We're over, again, halfway through the season, like Scott mentioned, and what a move to the basket. Nice quick sidestep there by Aubrey Fritz.
Man, it sure was. Very quick off the dribble. And first field goal of the night for Stebbins.
Vordemark up and under, out to Stockton. She fires a 3. It's no good. Long rebound by Scully. And it's going to be a foul on Stebbins. And Coach Cridge not happy with that call.
Zoe Ledbetter is going to pick up her first personal. Stebbins with 2 team fouls, Sidney with just 1.
Khalees McNeil back in. Khalees McNeil has provided a little bit of that strength down low, the sophomore, 5'10". And McNeil, speaking of her, nice pass from Khalees McNeil. Was just as beautiful a pass as it was a score there.
Sure was, and there's that example of making yourself available. Allie Stockton working hard away from the basketball, and an easy pass there for McNeil to find Allie, and so Allie now leads all scorers with 7.
Yeah, Allie Stockton, at some point, if she can stay healthy, will probably become the all-time lead scorer in Sidney girls history, passing Selena Taborn, who played at Furman and Butler University. As we have a precision strip timeout from Coach Al Cridge, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls high school basketball on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replay of this game Friday, January 27th at 5 p.m. and Monday, January 30th at 9 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So coming out of the precision strip timeout, it's been all Jackets here early, 11-3.
Sure has, and the leading scorer thus far in today's contest, a game-high 7 points for Allie Stockton. Also tallying for the Jackets, Larkin Vordemark and Jordan Scully, the guard and the winger, each have a 2-point field goal. On the other side of things for Stebbins, Aubrey Fritz, 2 points, and then a free throw made by Sarah Holt.
Stockton up ahead quickly, goes to Scully on the left side. Scully back over to just entered in Kimora Johnson, who averages just about 2 points a game. Scully, sidestep, great footwork to Stockton in the corner. 3 does not fall. And Kimora Johnson tracks down the long rebound. Gets it taken away, though. Aubrey Fritz stops, and we'll let the Stebbins offense settle down here a second as Khalees McNeil makes a play going away. Stockton can't get the layup. That was all out of sorts there.
Boy, great back-and-forth action. A couple of quick turnovers, steals, and brilliant defense at both ends of the floor.
It's not there. It's just a foul going up against Sidney here. And it's going against Scully.
Yep, fouls away from the ball. Very clean block there. Reagan Clark, the 6' 1" forward for Sidney. And they called Scully as they double team the shooter, Kenzie Roche.
Yeah, and it looked like, that play earlier as the first free throw was missed. They were falling out of bounds, and they throw it away on the other side. And that was a great play by Khalees McNeil, even though Stockton missed the layup in transition. It's no good. Khalees McNeil providing some good rebounding and defense off the bench.
Well, Coach Foster's got a nice deep lineup here. Having an athlete like Khalees McNeil be able to come in. Look at that move. Just a little step around the defense.
Shot no good there on the inside in the short corner from Khalees.
It's a nice luxury to have if you're Coach Foster.
And providing that defense, getting a little break up there. They're saying it went right off of Stebbins. So Khalees McNeil, I know Stockton has 7 points, but she might have been the most impressive player here so far.
Absolutely. McNeil does a lot of things that maybe won't show up in the box score, but most coaches preach offense comes from defense, and you see right there an example of it. And that was all McNeil.
Scully on the right wing to McNeil in the corner. McNeil passes out to Reagan Clark, over to Kimora Johnson, back over to Reagan Clark in the middle of that zone. She stops, pops, fires, it's no good. Rebound down to Roche.
So far, Sidney shooting 50% from inside the arc, 4 of 8, and 0 for 2 from beyond the arc. Stebbins hasn't even had that many attempts. They've had 2 3 balls that haven't gone down, and then just 1 of 3 from the floor, and there's another turnover.
Scully going to turn it right back over to Stebbins. Stebbins running that floor. Pressured in the corner. Kick it out over to Roach. Roach driving on the inside, and she's fouled and will shoot 2 free throws. Foul going to go against Kimora Johnson, her first, team's third.
So you see Sidney very quick to the ball. They double-teamed down there on the baseline. They double-teamed Weimer, which created the space for Roche, but then she was fouled going to the rack.
First free throw up and good. A couple substitutions here. Ebony Sherwood and Sarah Holt in for Stebbins, and in back for Sidney is Lexi Brewer.
See Addison Weimer kind of rubbing her chin as she came off, maybe a little contact away from the ball.
Roach, the 5'5 freshman, dips knees, fires, and cannot connect. She splits the pair from the line. It's 11-4. Sidney on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard as they're up ahead quickly. Stockton in the lane. Shot is no good.
Oh, a good look there, though. Kenzie Brewer found Stockton right at the free throw line. Just not quite enough on the ball.
Here's 1:36 to go. Again, a 7-point Sidney advantage as Fritz gives it out over to Roach. Roach all out of control. Stebbins trying to figure things out there, and it's a good shot in the lane there by Sarah Holt.
Nice job of sticking with that. It was definitely out of control. You saw Aubrey Fritz get out of sorts, and Holt calms it down, makes a good bucket there.
Nice rhyme from McNeil to Kimora Johnson. Just can't connect there, but it'll stay Sidney possession as Larkin Vordemark's going to come back in.
I'm impressed with Aubrey Fritz. She comes in averaging 7 points a game, the freshman guard for Stebbins. You see how hard she works. She's all over the place on defense and very, very athletic. So nice 5'5" freshman guard there for Coach Cridge and the Indians.
Johnson loses the basketball momentarily, picked back up by Brewer. Brewer spins around, gets out the double team. Back out to Vordemark. Vordemark on the inside to Reagan Clark, swarmed by a couple Stebbins defenders, and the Stebbins defense on the interior has been pretty nasty lately.
Yeah, chipping away. At one point, this was a 7-1 lead for the Jackets, and Stebbins chipping away, cutting it down to a 5-point lead, 11-6.
Three-pointer trying to cut that down to 2. Rims out there for Ledbetter.
Both teams with 7 rebounds, very even there.
Johnson going to fire up a quick 3. Shot no good. Offensive rebound down to Vordemark. Her shot is blocked. And Stebbins controls the basketball with 30 seconds to go as Fritz brings it up the timeline.
Nice job that time again by Stebbins, forcing a awkward shot and a pulling down a rebound.
Stebbins to the basket. Shot no good. Rims around. Back down to Ledbetter. Ledbetter up, and she's fouled, and will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, a good offensive set that time. Couple of good looks, well contested by the defense, but they're getting the ball down inside, which early in the game, Brandon, they weren't able to do. Stebbins wasn't. But that has changed a little bit here as the first quarter's coming to an end.
So a Ledbetter 5'4" junior in the lineup. Again, it's a pretty youthful roster. Again, the only listed senior is Sarah Holt. So you take a look and there's a couple of juniors. It's a 4-10 record, but this is a youthful roster that Stebbins is playing with against a mostly veteran Sidney roster.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the youth that they have here for the Indians is solid, very fundamentally sound athletic players. I was talking about Aubrey Fritz earlier. Also, another freshman, Kenzie Roach, averaging 4 points a game. So that's only going to get better if you're Coach Cridge and the Indians program.
They get a steal at half court. 2-on-1 here for Stebbins. Can they keep it inbounds, out turning it over? And they don't. And Stebbins going to get a shot at the horn after a wild exchange there. Shot no good. We're through 8 minutes of play here. It's an 11-7 City lead over Stebbins here on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Here's Miles Vordemark.
And back here on NKTelco Sports, our additional sponsors here are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Deckman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securcom, and St. Henry Bank. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Starting lineups, Emerson Copeland. Our player of the game, which Scott and I will select later, is brought to you by NKTelco. So thank you for those sponsors for bringing you girls high school basketball on NKTelco Sports through 8 minutes of play. Our score is Sidney 11, Stebbins 7, and a pretty good first quarter.
Absolutely. Nice close game. Stebbins got off to a little bit of a slow start. It was a 7-1 lead for Sidney, but Stebbins' defense, setting up their offense, has gotten them back into this one.
Stebbins trying to pull off the upset victory. Sidney yet to lose in the Miami Valley League. Brewer up ahead quickly, trying to get up to Khalees McNeil, who finishes on the inside and is fouled and will shoot two.
Pretty good hack across the arms. Good pass. McNeil made herself available. Unable to finish, but in large part to the contact there, Ebony Sherwood picks up her first foul, team third.
And Khalees McNeil will fire two from the free throw line. As she dips in these fires, cannot connect, and Sidney in a little bit of an offensive drought after they started hot. Now cooled down a bit.
Did. Yeah, it was 7-1, then it was 9-3. Now all of a sudden, 11-7.
McNeil cannot connect on either or, but Vordemark gets the offensive board, and she's pushed and fouled as she was falling out of bounds. It's going to be the fourth team foul. Each team square up 4 fouls apiece.
And I think that foul was called on number 30, so 2 quick fouls for Ebony Sherwood, and she will exit the game in favor of Addison Weimer now coming in.
McNeil goes up, shot no good. Sidney's having some good looks, just haven't been able to convert here the past few possessions.
That was a great inbound. They caught McNeil cutting to the basket, just couldn't make the shot.
Vordemark gets it ripped away momentarily, gets it right back. Jump shot in the lane, rims out. Rebound down to Stebbins. Goes over to Fritz. Fritz to the right side, takes it to the basket. What a beautiful move by the freshman Aubrey Fritz.
Sure enough, very, very quick with the ball, very sure-handed, very athletic move. And Sidney in transition, another great pass to an open, Keyless McNeil. Sorry, I had a brain bubble there. But again, unable to convert.
Reagan Clark going to come back into the lineup here for McNeil. Sidney going to apply a little more full court pressure here with the way Stebbins has been playing.
Yeah, Sidney went 4 of 5 their first field goals and then haven't made a basket since. They've taken 15 shots from inside the arc and haven't made one in 10 attempts.
Kilbasso trying to give Stebbins the lead. It rims out. Vordemark clears the boards. Vordemark up ahead quickly to the right side to Brewer. Brewer looking for the cross-court pass to Scully. Scully takes it to the short corner, straddles that baseline, gives it up over to Stockton. Stockton going to take the jump shot in the Sidney drought, continuing. Clark trying to snap that drought. It's no good. Rebound down to Stebbins. And they're up ahead quickly. Kilbasso up ahead of the pack. And Stebbins will slow it down.
Yeah, again, a couple of good opportunities down there. 2 looks, 2 shots, 2 misses as Lexi Brewer breaks on that pass and ends up going out of bounds.
Well, you could tell her eyes was one place. It wasn't on the defender. It was on the ball. And we have a timeout by Coach Jamal Foster. And all timeouts this year on NKTelco Sports are brought to you by Precision Strip. And again, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors again, Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. Again, thank you to those fine sponsors for bringing us basketball all year long. It seems
Absolutely.
like there's games every day, it seems like, and I know tomorrow we'll be at the MLK Classic at Fort Laramie, and it's just been a fun year on NKTelco Sports.
Sure has. Really grateful to be able to bring high school sports to our audience, and grateful for those sponsors, because without them, we couldn't do it. So be sure to patronize those businesses.
Brewer gets a steal right up ahead to Jordan Scully, and Brewer trying to get this offense jump-started there with a couple steals.
Long scoring drought broken finally for Sidney. Again, moving the ball well. They've been getting good looks, just haven't been making baskets.
Shot from the corner, it's no good. Weak side rebound, up and in. Nice play to stick with it there by Sarah Holt, and the seniors got 5.
Again, nice play, like you said, stick with it. Second chance shots matter. That's why those rebounds are so important, Brandon.
Scully goes on the baseline. It rattles in and out. Vordemark going up, and she's hacked and will shoot 2. It's been a physical game here so far. It's 5:47 to go in the half, and it's 9 fouls total has been called. It's been a little physical game here.
Has been 15 foul now for Stebbins. Kilbasso's first foul.
Vordemark at the line, cans the first free throw, cashes and connects on it as Kenzie Roach is back in the lineup for Coach Al Cridge. And the coach on the other side for Sidney, Jamal Foster, in his 4th season, a 2007 Sidney High School graduate, had brought this team back that won 2 games in total from the 2017-18 season and 2018-19 season. Ever since then, Sky's won 4 straight league titles and has really resurrected this program.
Sure has. Hats off to Coach Foster. Almost a turnover there. Good job maintaining ball control for Stebbins, and you're going to get a little walk as Holt picked the ball up and moved. Sidney's pressure defense doing a nice job once again.
Little miscommunication there from the Jackets as they turn it right back over to Stebbins.
Not sure if Stockton was going to the middle of the floor or all the way down to Vordemark, but same instance on the floor. They weren't sure where that ball was going either.
Little dribble weave here for Stebbins. Go in the corner to Kilbasso, goes to the right side, back over to Ledbetter. Back over to Roach. Roach being guarded by Scully. 2 underclassmen going at it here. Scully picks it away, and it's Brewer who comes up with it. Lexi Brewer lays it in. Nice pick from Scully to Brewer, and it's a 30-second timeout by Stebbins. We'll take it with them. 5 minutes square to go till halftime here as we have a precision strip timeout on NKTelco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here on NKTelco Sports at the Precision Strip timeout. 17-11, Sidney ahead of Stebbins. And Scott, you're really seeing the Sidney defense here pick up a bit.
Sure have. Defensive intensity. And they've put some token pressure on Stebbins. They're not giving them half the floor like early in the game, and that's caused a couple of turnovers, but you see it more even in the Stebbins offensive end, a lot of out-of-control play, and that is because of that Sidney pressure.
And again, I think most of that defense has really been spearheaded by Lexi Brewer, as Brewer's going to get the assist here to Larkin Vordemark. It takes a trip around the whirl and falls in the basket for Sidney.
Vordemark now with 6. Second leading scorer in the game for the Jackets behind Ellie Stockton with 7.
And Clark blocks that back. Says, you're going to keep the ball, but we're going to keep this, like you said, token pressure on the Stebbins Indians has really affected them lately, and it's grown the Sidney lead back out to 8.
Yeah, Stebbins having a hard time getting into their half-court offense. Part of it's because, and there you see Lexi Brewer in the gap again.
And they missed a shot on the inside, and if Brewer just gives a ball fake there,
right, let the defense kind of go by, then she's probably got a little easier bucket.
Man, but she's been really a beast on the defensive end, really jump-starting some Sidney transition this second quarter, as it's a 19-11 Sidney lead over Stebbins on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 4:13 to go till halftime. My name is Brendan Coverman. Alongside me, Scott Fry. We're glad to have you here on NKTelco Sports.
Cabasso got called on a foul on the rebound attempt, so she's got 2 fouls. She'll have to have a seat.
Kilbasso, the leading scorer as well for Stebbins, as Stockton takes it to that short corner. Shot's no good. Rebound down to Brewer.
Here's that second chance rebound situation. Sidney's taken 23 shots inside the arc, 4 beyond the arc, to 10 inside the arc for Stebbins, and 4 or 5 outside the arc. So a lot more shot attempts for Sidney.
There's a good look there from Scully, just rimmed out. Dribble exchange here. Back over to Ledbetter. We have a player down here for a moment. Looks like get back up, but
yeah, it was Aubrey Fritz collided with her teammate, and she's rubbing her right knee, but they also bumped heads.
Yeah.
And she gives the official, yeah, I'm okay. That's good. But that was a scary moment right there for Stebbins, as you see now checking in for Sidney, Keelis McNeil.
Yeah, Keelis McNeil back in. And
Keelis, sorry.
Yeah, she provide that defensive presence again for Sidney, as they've really turned up the defense this second quarter. 3 from the corner, no good. McNeil with the rebound. McNeil looking up ahead to her sophomore classmate Vordemark, who's ahead of the pack. And Sidney ran the fast break so beautifully there, extends the lead to 10.
Beautiful transition off the long rebound, and Keelis McNeil finds Vordemark. Vordemark now, I've got her for 8.
Yeah, same. Ledbetter gets it in the corner. Back over to Kaylee Kearns, who's in the line of playing that JV contest a little earlier. Kearns gets a double team, a little run and jump from Sidney. And there's a travel, as Ledbetter did not have her feet set there, and a little bit of that token pressure, like you said, Scott, affecting Stebbins here.
Yeah, Sidney did a nice job that time of using the sideline right in front of their bench as a 6th defender, keeping the ball pressed against that sideline. And when you do that, when you put that kind of pressure on the basketball, mistakes are going to happen, and that's why they do it. So well done there. 14 turnovers now committed by Stebbins here, with still almost 3 minutes to go before the intermission.
McNeil in the corner, hits the jump shot. Keelis McNeil hits the jump shot, and Sidney up now by a dozen.
And that was a long 2-ball, and that is McNeil's first points of the night, the day.
Right wing, shot's no good. Rebound down over to the Stebbins Indians. Up and under. Shot on the offensive rebound's no good. Stockton looking to jump start the break. Up ahead, wild pass to McNeil, and it's going to be a Sidney turnover in transition.
And that is Sidney's 8th turnover. As Stebbins finally getting a couple of looks. It's been a while since they've put a shot up. That defensive Sidney has been very effective down in the Stebbins offensive end. As you see, checking in now for Coach Jamal Foster, this is Kimora Johnson, number 2.
Vordemark trying to get a steal there. Again, Stebbins bringing it up against the Sidney pressure that they struggled with, but they break it right there, and they get a bucket on the inside to Addison Weimer.
That's Weimer's first point. She averages almost 6 per game, and that was a just textbook press break, pass up the center of the floor, stay away from the sidelines, and Stebbins that time does a beautiful job of breaking.
And Scully gets an answer +1 right there from the right wing, and Jordan Scully with 7 now.
Beautiful 3-ball. That's the first 3-ball made tonight. Both teams have attempted 5 of them. Sidney finally connects on their 5th attempt. Boy, Khalees McNeil almost got that ball away.
3-point shot, no good. Stebbins still without any 3s yet in this game. Scully pushes the break. Scully gets that ball bumped away, goes back over to Reagan Clark, back to Kimora Johnson, to the right side to Larkin Vordemark. Vordemark looks around, drives on the inside, trying to go to the basket to Clark. Clark on the inside. Clark shot
nice
up and
move.
good.
Man, she ball faked, kind of a pass left, and then went up the right side of the lane into the trees. What nice ball handling and footwork for the senior forward for the Jackets. Her first bucket of the night.
And Reagan Clark came over from Jackson Center just last year. And Stebbins trying to figure something out here on offense. Closing minutes of the first half. In the lane, shot up. And it trickles in there. Trickles home for Tenzie Roach, who's got her first field goal of the game and cuts the Sidney lead to 13.
Boy, Sidney again keeping the pressure on. Seems like every time you see a basketball, you see 2 white shirts guarding the person with it. They do such a nice job of switching to the ball, making it very tough on Stebbins.
And Stebbins staying in the zone. It's 2-3. Sidney's been trying to dissect. They've really done a nice job really in the first quarter, not so much the second quarter, of taking away the elbows that Sidney likes to get to. And Reagan Clark for 3, got it! Nothing but nylon there, and that's a great sound for Reagan Clark, 31-15 Jackets.
So Clark's starting to heat up now, which is great because now you're spreading the scoring around. Clark with 5, Stockton 7, Vordemark 8, Scully 7. Very, very nice spread of scoring for the Jackets.
Again, and well put. Very good balance from the Sidney team that goes 7 deep. And they tip it out of bounds 1/10 of a second. Doesn't look like Stebbins will have any time to get anything off here. Sidney scores 55 points a game. That on defense, they only give up about 30, so they're about right at their season average right now, giving up 15 a game. And that'll be the end of the first half. The Sidney Yellow Jackets lead the Stebbins Indians 31-15 at halftime. Scott and I will step aside, recap the first half, and bring you the second half of action here next on NKTelco Sports.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the Internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Welcome back here on NKTelco Sports. A halftime break here between Stebbins and Sidney. After one half of play, the Sidney Yellow Jackets lead the Stebbins Indians 31-15. Here with our halftime numbers, Mr. Scott Fry.
Thanks, Brandon. So on the Stebbins Indians side of the ledger for Coach Al Cridge, their 15 points kind of came at us this way. From the floor, 6 of 21 for 28.6% shooting. Again, 6 of 14 inside the arc, 0 for 7 beyond the arc. 3 of 7 at the free throw line. That's a 43% clip. They pulled down 12 boards and committed 14 turnovers. And again, that Sidney defense has kind of become the story of this of this contest. On the Sidney side of the ledger, 12 of 32 from the floor for 37.5% shooting overall, 2 of 6 beyond the arc, 10 of 26 inside the arc for the Jackets. 3 of 5 shooting from the free throw line. They pulled down 18 rebounds, which is part of how that offense got clicking as things went along, and then they committed 8 turnovers in the first half. As far as individual scoring is concerned, leading the Jackets, Lexi Brewer with 8, Scully, Stockton each with 7, Reagan Clark with 5, and then 2 apiece for Khalees McNeil and Lexi Brewer.
So again, a 16-point Sidney lead. It was only 4 after the first quarter, and Stebbins was doing a really good job of slowing down Sidney, but Sidney got some transition buckets, some steals, and that really helped them jolt out to a 16-point halftime lead.
Yeah, to me, it was a real classic example of defense creating offense for Sidney as a catch and shoot for Reagan Clark there in the corner. A nice bucket to start off the second half for the Jackets.
And the Jackets have done a better job in being patient against the zone right there. That's a smooth jump shot from Reagan Clark. She's got 7 now as Sidney again playing a little bit of that token pressure, that run and jump right there. And that's a 10-second count right there in the backcourt. You don't see that call too often.
Not too often, but that pressure, again, only 2 defenders for Sidney, but Stebbins just could not get the ball over the timeline. And by timeline, that's that half-court stripe, and you've got 10 seconds from inbound to when you have to be in your offensive zone. And they didn't make it that time.
18-point lead, Scully. Right near the volleyball line there. Back over to Lexi Brewer as we're burned through a minute here in the third quarter on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. It's 33-15, Sidney over Stebbins. Brandon Coburn, Scott Fry bringing you the action here on this Saturday morning as Clark kicks it out to Stockton. Stockton gets a shot fake on the inside to Clark. Clark trying to go up, gets that ball ripped away momentarily. Brewer in the lane, puts it up, it's short. Stockton makes a Herculean effort to keep that alive. She's got the ball, goes up, and cannot finish. It's been a tough day shooting for Allie Stockton.
It has, but Stebbins doing a nice job hanging in there on defense. Finally pulls down a rebound, and now they'll come the other way.
On the exchange here to the left side, Sidney trying to poke it away. And it's swiped away by none other than Lexi Brewer. Brewer straddles that right side, and she's fouled. She just goes so tough usually to that right block every time when she comes down the floor and had a nice take to the basket and get fouled.
Yeah, Brewer does a nice job of reading the passes, but really that was set up. Allie Stockton pressed the Indians' ball carrier into the corner of their, basically their backcourt, using the timeline and the sideline as 2 additional defenders, and it really paid off that time in creating the turnover for Brewer.
Brewer now with 3 points again for the senior who missed a good chunk of that second half of the season last year. I think only played about 5 games actually before she tore her ACL, and glad to have her back for one of the better Sidney teams that we've seen here in recent history. And
just watching Lexi, I had Sidney earlier this year, and watching her warm up and how she goes about her business. Very, very intense, very disciplined, very focused, and then a hard foul right in front of the official is Aubrey Fritz having a tough day at the office. She hits the deck. You see her shake her head. That would be, Allie Stockton picking up her first.
And Sidney with a 19-point lead. It was close to a over and back violation, but she had her heels over the line, so good call there by the official. Brewer harassing Ledbetter out front at the Sidney logo. Ledbetter goes to the left side. Stockton hustling for the basketball is fouled there by Stebbins. Nice play by Allie Stockton. It's going to be a turnover for Stebbins.
That'll be Sarah Holt's first personal, second team foul. But Allie Stockton, again, making things happen both ends of the floor. She went a little chilly on offense, as you mentioned. Her shooting hasn't been as clean after she got off to that 7-point start. But, boy, she sure has done it on the defensive end, Brandon.
Timeout on the floor by Coach Jamal Foster. All timeouts brought to you by Precision Strip. We'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls high school basketball on NKTelco Channel 3 or on HD on Channel 503. Catch the replays of this game Friday, January 27th at 5 p.m. and Monday, January 30th at 9 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And I mentioned Sidney's undefeated in the Miami Valley League, Scott, but interestingly enough, they tomorrow have a game on Sunday.
Yeah.
No, they're not playing at the MLK Classic that we're going to be at, but they're playing actually Fort Erie International Canada over at Pickerington Central High School tomorrow.
Yeah, Fort Erie is up in the Buffalo, New York area, actually right across the Niagara River from Buffalo. And we're going to get a foul on number 5, Jordan Scully, her second, and team second.
You know, it always seems like we talk about holiday tournaments being big, like, you know, over the Christmas break, which I'm not the biggest holiday tournament fan, but I think like the Martin Luther King weekend has now become this de facto basketball holiday as Lexi Brewer puts up the shot in transition.
Brewer now with 5, and, you know, having Monday off of school, it's a great way to get a day of games in a tournament sense, or just an extra game in the case of Sidney.
Shot no good there, but you got the always classic flying to the hoop down in Kettering. I've been there multiple times, went there for many years. As Scully fires a 3 from the corner, it's too much. Stockton with the rebound on the inside, puts it in. Allie Stockton now with 9.
The offensive rebound pays off that time for the Jackets, and we're going to get a precision strip timeout called by Stebbins, and it's a full.
Yep, and we'll take it with them. Precision strip timeout, 4:52 to go here in the third quarter. 23-point Sidney advantage on the First National Bank thing first scoreboard.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement. We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Coming out the precision strip timeout, it's a 38-15 Sidney lead over Stebbins, and Sidney taking control here in the third quarter. Scott
Stebbins
on
unable to score. Yeah, boy, oh boy, big run to start things off here. We played about 2 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, and again, we were talking right before the break, you know, how we were talking about Martin Luther King's kind of become this holiday this weekend. You know, the kids have off school on Monday, but it's kind of become this de facto basketball holiday as a 3 from the corner is no good. It's kind of become this de facto basketball holiday. You got the MLK Classic at Laramie. You know, Sidney's traveling to play Fort Erie International. Scully from the corner fires a 3. Got it. Jordan Scully from the corner is in double figures now.
First player to hit 10 here of the contest.
And yeah, it's been this de facto basketball holiday weekend. So it's been fun. And the NFL playoffs start this weekend too. So
absolutely. Go Bills, go Bengals, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
each of our teams win. We'll see each other in the divisional round in Buffalo.
Exactly. And Stebbins has the basketball with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They have not scored through the first half of the third quarter as Sidney's really started to assert its will after Stebbins kept it tight in the first quarter for this youthful Stebbins team. And Sidney about ready to cause a turnover right there as Stebbins holds bay there. They fire a 3 from the corner. It's too much. Rebound down to Scully.
With Sidney again, great pressure defense. You saw Aubrey Fritz trying to make something happen there for Stebbins. Sidney switching off screens, getting to the ball quickly, and it results in a 0 trip down for the Indians, and Sidney with the ball again.
Again, Sidney with a 26-point lead. They won 50-18 the last time these two teams played. Each team about ready to surpass that point total here soon enough. As Coach Jamal Foster telling his girls to slow things down here a bit, as you mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, Scott. This Sidney team's had balance. You know, at times you've seen Allie Stockton explode for points. For example, she had 22 in the first half alone against Pickwa. But a girl like that, Jordan Scully, has been playing really well, and she's got a dozen.
Again, very patient that time on offense against this Indians zone defense, and that patience is rewarded with another Scully field goal.
It's a 28-point advantage for Sidney. They take it baseline. We've seen moments, too, from players like Reagan Clark. She had 7. She had a stretch there where she was scoring a couple baskets.
Yep. Well, and Sidney's got 6 players on the scoreboard here. Well, you know, 5 players have scored for Stebbins, so somewhat balanced in their 15 points. But the Sidney defense is really, for my money, is really the story right now, Brandon. They have just shut the Stebbins offense off.
Yeah, it's a 43-15 advantage here right now. And we got a 5-second count there. Kendall Dickman in the lineup as well for Sidney, who played in that junior varsity contest earlier that was won by the Stebbins Indians.
See there again, Sidney just unable to, or Stebbins unable to get the ball in. Very frustrating.
Reagan Clark with the basketball, turns it right back over there to Stebbins. As Dickman getting a little bit of playing time on that JV game earlier. Goes to the left side to Roach. Roach back to the corner. Quick fire three, rattles out. Stebbins' scoreless drought continues this quarter. 6 minutes without any points.
They've also struggled to rebound the basketball here as well. Just 2 rebounds this quarter.
Try to get it on the inside. Shot goes up. It's no good. Kimura Johnson with the rebound.
7 rebounds for the Jackets. And here in the third period. Excuse me.
Scully with the basketball. Scully goes back over to Johnson. Johnson over to Reagan Clark in the corner to Khalees McNeil. McNeil to the basket, high off the glass. It's no good. And McNeil, as they're rolling around in the ground, it's going to be a jump ball, and arrow favors Stebbins.
So everybody to the floor. That's what the coach says. Get on the floor, get that ball. They tie it up, jump ball, and now Stebbins will be the benefactor of that.
Yeah, you might wonder how Stebbins got its name. It's named after a longtime former superintendent, Walter Stebbins. If you have an inadvertent whistle, we'll just play through it. So it's named after a longtime former superintendent that made a great impact by the name of Walter Stebbins. That's how Stebbins got its name.
One of numerous schools in the Mad River School District. Looks like maybe Khalees McNeil is going to get flagged, and that'll be her first personal.
And I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you can see it from I-70, and it's a beautiful school. You can see from, they got turf field, just like the Sidney Yellow Jackets do here. Nice turf field there, and called many Stebbins Sidney battles over the years, as the shot is no good there from Zoe Ledbetter. And just trying to get the Indians on the board here in the third quarter, and you cannot. She goes 0-2 from the line. It's just been a tough quarter here for Stebbins. They've only had 8 points since the end of that first quarter.
Yeah, again, the Sidney defense doing a nice job of turning the ball over and preventing shots and rebounding.
Stockton in the corner over to Kimura Johnson. Johnson cross-court pass to Scully. Scully in the corner to Khalees McNeil. Wraparound pass. It's stripped away by Stebbins. We have a minute to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I think if McNeil just goes to the rack, she's good to go there. One pass too many.
Indians trying to work it around. And Sidney applying pressure. And they're having a hard time getting through this little run and jump here. McNeil applying really good pressure.
Yeah, Sidney does such a nice job of using the sideline, the timeline, forcing Stebbins into very awkward, very low percentage chance of making those shots, as Stebbins will retain possession. But you saw that three over there, Brandon. Yeah. It was such a hurried shot because of the pressure.
Yeah, you're right. Ball in the corner, tipped out by Scully. Scully's had a great game, 12 points for her.
In fact, she leads all scorers.
Stebbins struggling to get it in. Stockton tried to tip it back. It's taken away there by Kilbasso. Kilbasso's really been a non-factor, the lead scorer for Stebbins. And there's the first Stebbins score of the third quarter. It goes to Sarah Holt. She's got a team-high 7.
Yeah, good ball movement that time. Stebbins was patient, got it into their big, Sarah Holt. Nice, smooth shot.
10 seconds to go here. This third quarter's been all Jackets, 43-17. Sidney on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard as the Jackets turning it over as Kendall Dickman couldn't grasp it. And kick it out for a 3 at the horn. It's no good. Through 3 quarters of play, the Sidney Yellow Jackets lead the Stebbins Indians 43-17 here on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. We'll step aside, come back with the fourth quarter of action here next on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology, CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, beginning of the fourth quarter of action between Sidney and Stebbins. My name is Brandon Coburn. Alongside me, Scott Fry. Glad to have you here on NKTelco Sports, and it's a dominant third quarter by Sidney. It's really been the difference.
Absolutely. What was it, 35-11, I believe, at the half? Now 43-17.
Stockton from the corner. Kind of been struggling shooting today. Dickman with the weak side rebound. Scully, shot fake. She leads all scores with a dozen. Khalees McNeil to Stockton to Dickman, and shot rattles in and out. Rebound by McNeil, though.
This will be the third, and then a steal by Sidney. And I had that score reverse. It was 31-15 Sidney at the half, and they've scored 12 to just 2 for Stebbins as Khalees McNeil in transition gets her second field goal.
McNeil now with 4 for the sophomore defensive specialist for the Jackets.
Again, the defense creates a turnover. The offense scores from it.
Dickman gets the rebound there for Sidney. Stockton fouled up ahead as that gets called there. We go against number 13.
That's Elisa Combs.
Yeah, Combs, who played in that JV contest earlier. Get a little bit of time. Speaking of some JV players, Jada Schroyer going to come in, a freshman, and Larkin Vordemark, sophomore, going to come back in, as Schroyer's the point guard of that JV team, had a really nice game with 12 points.
Also a JV player in for Stebbins, number 4, Kaylee Kearns, had a nice JV contest earlier as well.
Yeah, stepped out of bounds. Will stay with the Jackets game. I said that tomorrow they'll play at Pickerington Central, play against Fort Erie International Canada over there in Pickerington Central. As Dickman has the ball in the corner.
Is that a tournament?
I think it might be the Classic in the Country, but that's in Berlin Highland. So I don't know what it is. Just a little weekend showcase over there in Pickerington Central. Schroyer shot's no good. McNeil the rebound to Dickman. And Dickman is fouled by the Stebbins Indians. It's just one game, so I think it's just a showcase.
That's going to be Ebony Sherwood's third foul.
Vordemark with the basketball, gets it in quickly to Kimura Johnson, who fires the three. Kimura Johnson switches it from the right wing.
Worked to perfection. Nice stack down the right side of the key, and that is Kimura Johnson's first bucket, first points. But boy, what a nice stack up inbound play for the Jackets.
But what I love about Crow's Nest view, Scott, is you saw that ball leave from her hands and you knew that was going in.
Yep.
You knew there's no way that ball is not going in, and that's what I love about Crow's Nest views. And there's going to be a late foul called there on Sidney.
I think that's going to be Kendall Dickman picking up her first personal, and it is.
And Dickman did play in that JV contest as well, as they're working in some other players. Again, they got a big game they want to win tomorrow, as Stebbins is going to come with a line change here in a second. First free throw is no good there by Elisa Combs, and coming in, number 3, Aubrey Fritz, number 12, Zoe Ledbetter. Combs is still the shooter, and also in, as Combs misses his second free throw, is number 15, Tori Kilbasso, as well as a 31-point Sidney lead, as Roach will come back in the lineup here in a second, and she will now, as the ball's dead. 48-17 Sidney on the First National Bank, I think, first scoreboard. As it looks like Sidney will remain undefeated in the Miami Valley League. They lead the Valley Division and lead the Miami Valley League overall, an impressive 12-0. This Miami Valley League, in its third year of existence, does the double round robin as Larkin Vordemark hits a shot on the inside.
Boy, nice little move there by Vordemark to get herself into double digits with 10. Nice ball movement there by Sidney. Again, very patient against that 2-3 Stebbins zone.
And this is kind of similar to what the score was the first time. The score last time was 50-18. Similar to that right now here with 5:15 to go. And
nice job there by Kimora Johnson to get in the passing lane. Stebbins had some good ball movement. Ball was coming down the lane. They just couldn't finish.
Shot no good there. It'll stay Stebbins' possession. And one thing new this year, not the Sidney Jim mentioned in the broadcast before, is a new scoreboard this year. Really nice
very,
new
very
scoreboard.
Nice.
And they're also, after this year, going to be getting a new bleacher. So some renovations going to be happening here in the gym here at Sidney. That's another 3 off the mark. And it's just been an ice-cold shooting half for the Indians.
Yeah, the Indians are 0 for 15 from beyond the arc. So tough night shooting for Stebbins.
Schroyer goes over to Johnson, back to Schroyer. Go to the left side and Vordemark. This looks like what the varsity team will look like a lot after this year. Lexi Brewer, Reagan Clark, and Allie Stockton graduate. Also Lexus Wilson, who we had yet to see yet in this contest. But Sidney will be graduating a lot of talent after this year. But they have a lot of talent still here, which will suits well for Coach Jamal Foster.
Yeah, the pipeline's good here in Sidney. So you see, holding their own with their seconds, their 2s are in.
Vordemark up ahead quickly, looking to run the floor. Johnson in transition, in transition. 3 is no good as part of a line change for Stebbins here again, coming up soon.
4 of 11 shooting from beyond the arc now for Sidney. So a little under 40%.
Johnson gets a steal. Johnson up ahead, looking up ahead to a streaking Khalees McNeil, who couldn't quite grasp it. And that line change coming in now for Stebbins. You're going to have Kaylee Kearns, Elisa Combs, Ebony Sherwood, and Michaela Welsh coming in as well for Stebbins as we have a timeout. All timeouts this year brought to you by Precision Strip, and we'll keep it here. And it's Sidney is going to be 12-0 in the Miami Valley League. That game tomorrow, they're hoping to get their first outside the Miami Valley League win tomorrow. They've lost this year to a couple very good teams in Russia, Purcell, Marion, and Tri-Village. They were probably Sidney's the team that gave Tri-Village their closest battle. They're undefeated out of the Western Ohio Athletic Conference, a game that we called here on New Year's Eve, and Sidney's wanting to really make a run. They made a run to the district semifinals last year, wanting to make it maybe the district finals regional tournament this year, and Sidney a very capable team.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of good girls basketball down here in this part of the state between Sidney, Tri-Village. Fort Loramie's very good, Minster solid, Russia very good, although they've picked up a couple injuries recently. Now Sidney, of course, they're Division II girls, right?
Division I.
Division I. The other teams I mentioned all D4. Jackson Center hanging around.
It's 3:48 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Jackets with that 33-point lead. The Sidney gym has been a long-time host site of the girls D4 sectional, so it's had a lot of those good sectional games here. As there's a foul on Sidney. That'll be their 15th foul. That's foul going to go against Khalees McNeil.
It's McNeil's second personal.
Stebbins gets the basketball, and it's over to Combs. Combs getting pressure from Kimora Johnson. Combs on the left side. Combs to the basket. Combs loses it, and she's fouled on the floor. That's the last team foul for Sidney to give.
Sidney foul number 2, Kimora Johnson, her second, team 6.
And Stebbins will inbound here. Now they go to the top of the key. Combs fires a 3. We've seen this Stebbins JV team light it up from the outside earlier. Ebony Sherwood pulls down the rebound on the inside. Shot's no good and a foul. And going to the line will be Elisa Combs.
Jada Schroyer is going to pick up her first personal, the freshman guard. And that will be a shooting instance for Stebbins. 3 of 11 so far from the charity stripe.
It's just been a tough half offensively for Stebbins, as they have been ice cold, really, just to say the least.
Yeah, just 2 points, 1 2-point field goal in the whole second half here for Stebbins.
And yeah, it's 31-15 at half, and there's a foul. Dickman will be fouled on the rebound, and
this will be called on Allison Adcox. Her first personal, the sophomore forward in now, as you see more and more of the twos.
Stebbins applying a little pressure here, and Schroyer fouled in the backcourt. That's the last foul for Stebbins to give.
That'll be a first personal foul for Kaylee Kearns. 6 team fouls, as Brandon said there. Next one will put Sidney in the bonus. Stebbins already in the bonus with 7 Jacket team fouls.
Jada Schroyer gets the ball in the backcourt. Shuttles that sideline. Going up, trying to break down the defense. Gives over to Khalees McNeil. McNeil gives it away over to Stebbins. 3:01 to go here. Sidney has got this all but locked up. And looks like they will advance on the season to 12-3 and a perfect 12-0 in the Miami Valley League. Guess it will stay Stebbins' possession.
I'm going to say that went off of Khalees McNeil. So Stebbins will retain possession.
Backcourt, it's Michaela Welch. It's going to stay Stebbins basketball here. As
Boy, Khalees McNeil very active on both sidelines here, Brandon.
Yeah.
There may be a 33-point margin between the score, but nobody told Khalees McNeil.
Yeah, and we have a timeout on the floor. 2:46 to go here in the fourth quarter. Sidney ahead of Stebbins 50-17. We'll step aside here on NKTelco Sports.
We are here and here and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, just under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, and it's been all Jackets here this second half, Scott.
Sure has. They've scored 19 points to just 2 for Stebbins. So, again, the defense very, very aggressive for Coach Foster, and it has paid big dividends.
And it's, again, that 50-17 lead that we have seen here, and it's been all controlled here by the Jackets as they work it up ahead. Vordemark got to be fouled in transition. She'll shoot a 1-and-1, and we've seen, we talked about this team. We know Allie Stockton's leader, Lexi Brewer, the seniors, Reagan Clark as well, but we just seen the youth help today so much with Clark and Vordemark, Jordan Scully, the aforementioned Vordemark at the charity stripe right now, but just had a great game today as she misses the front end of that free throw and the 1-and-1, and Dickman gets the rebound.
14th board now in the half for Sidney to 5 for the Lady Indians. You see Sidney now slowing things down in their half-court offense.
Vordemark over to Johnson. Back to the left side of Vordemark. Going to try to look for Jada Schroyer. Actually look for Khalees McNeil in the middle. They're trying to run a play here. Dickman throws it up. No good. Rebound down to Khalees McNeil, and McNeil is fouled, and will shoot a 1-and-1 as Lexus Wilson going to come in. As we're going to have another line change, too, here for Stebbins. And the foul going to go against Zoe Ledbetter.
It's her second personal.
Lexus.
Number 8 for the team. A full wholesale change as you see red coming on, red going off.
And Lexus Wilson in for Sidney.
And Larkin Vordemark has a seat on the bench. She'll finish the day most likely. 10 points.
McNeil cans the first one. So Khalees McNeil up to 5 points.
Sidney over 50% from the free throw line, shooting 5 of 9 at this point.
And she cannot connect. Dickman goes up, and Dickman's fouled. So Kendall Dickman will get to shoot 2 free throws as the Sidney bench explodes with joy for their teammate.
Ebony Sherwood picks up her 4th personal.
So Dickman to the line. Dickman did have 1 point in that JV contest earlier. She'll have 2 free throws here. And cannot connect on the first one for the lefty. Dickman at the line, cannot connect. Khalees McNeil, the offensive rebound. Cross-court pass. Goes over to Dickman, back to Schroyer. Schroyer on the inside. Shot is no good. Dickman, the offensive board. Dickman trying to give it up to Schroyer. And Sidney's going to look to set up some offense here as they're just looking to run this game out here. Ball goes over to Kimura Johnson. Back over to Khalees McNeil to the left side to Schroyer. 90 seconds to go here. 51-17 Sidney on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. McNeil on the inside. Alexis Wilson. Shot is no good. It's going to stay Sidney basketball.
What a nice pass, though, as you saw Khalees McNeil. Looked like she was going to try the baseline, stopped at the short corner, and put a ball dead on the money to Alexis Wilson on the far side of the key. Great ball movement there by McNeil.
Dickman on the inside. Shot is no good. It's going to be a foul, as we're going to go the other way and shoot 1-and-1.
And it looks like Ebony Sherwood came down with that rebound. She was fouled by Dickman. Her second personal. Number 8 on the team. And you're right, sir. We're going to be shooting the bonus at the north end of the gymnasium.
Ebony Sherwood going to shoot the 1-and-1.
Shooting 1 and the bonus.
So Sherwood with the 1-and-1 and misses the first free throw, and Schroyer gets the rebound. Schroyer up ahead of the pack. Schroyer goes in the middle of the lane, shot up, and she's fouled. And it's just kind of been a hack fest here to end the game.
Sure has. Sure has. Very, very long fourth quarter on the clock.
We're just on the tip of that running clock, too. If Sidney get one more point.
Yep.
That running clock initiated. Sidney struggled to hit some free throws and some shots on the inside, as that free throw is no good from Jada Schroyer. Schroyer again had that really good junior varsity contest that Stebbins won. She scored 12 points for Sidney in that game to lead all scorers that game, as Schroyer, the freshman at the line, will certainly see some more varsity playing time, and that will initiate the running clock there. As Jada Schroyer has a point now.
In the varsity box score for the freshman. And, boy, she's really smooth with the ball, very confident running the offense. So I'd say that Coach Foster's got to be pretty pleased with her.
Shot up and no good. Kimura Johnson with the rebound. Johnson goes up the right side, looking up ahead to Khalees McNeil. McNeil up ahead, loses the basketball, puts it up. Shot no good. Alexis Wilson gets it back over to Schroyer. Right side to Johnson.
21 rebounds for Sidney, a lot of them on the offensive end.
And Alexis Wilson hits the shot. And she gets in the box to score.
9 Jackets have scored today.
Pretty impressive, as Sidney will again stay undefeated. 12 wins in the Miami Valley League against 0 losses. So something very, very proud, or you can be happy about if you're a Sidney fan, as the running clock continues. Looks like that'll about do it for us here tonight, as Sidney will advance to 12-3 on the season. The Stebbins Indians only able to muster 2 points the second half. Man, if we had to give an NKTelco player of the game, just give it to the Sidney defense in general. Yeah. But a 54-17 Sidney win here on NKTelco Sports. Again, we would like to thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports, because without those sponsors, we would not be able to bring you girls high school basketball here on NKTelco Sports. They are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank. Timeout sponsor, Precision Strip. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Emerson Copeland. And our player of the game, which Scott and I will select here in a second, is brought to you by NKTelco. Our additional sponsors are Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Heelsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. We'd also like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of girls high school basketball on NKTelco Channel 3 or HD on Channel 503. Catch the replays of this game Friday, January 27th at 5 p.m. and Monday, January 30th at 9 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. Let's take a look at the individual scoring here for the Stebbins Indians here tonight. It was 3 for Kenzie Roche, 4 for Aubrey Fritz, 1 for Zoe Ledbetter, 2 for Addison Weimer, and 7 for Sarah Holt. For the Sidney Yellow Jackets, they had 3 from Kimora Johnson, 5 from Lexi Brewer, 10 from Larkin Vortemart, a game-high 12 from Jordan Scully, 11 from Allie Stockton, 9 from Allie Stockton, 7 from Reagan Clark, and 2 from Lexus Wilson. Scoring after quarters was 11-7 Sidney. At halftime, it was 31-15 Sidney, and after 3 quarters, 43-17 Sidney. And our final is Sidney 54, Stebbins 17. So with all that, we'll take a look at some more deeper stats here from my side guy here today, Scott Fry.
All right, so shooting numbers for Stebbins from the floor overall. I missed one. Golly, I'm sitting here all good to go. 14 of 39 overall for 35.8% shooting overall. So a little chilly in the second half, kind of drove those shooting numbers down. They were 0 for 17 from beyond the arc, 14 of 22 inside, 21.4% from the free throw line, 16 boards, 17 turnovers on the Sidney side of the ledger. Overall from the floor, 22 of 56 for 39%. They shot 4 of 11 from beyond the arc, 36%. They made 43% of their free throws, and they pulled down 39 boards. Really, the rebounding and the defense was the story for Sidney, getting a 37-point victory today. 14 turnovers also. Last piece of business, we want to pick an NKTelco player of the game, and this one is going to go to the sophomore winger, 5'9" Larkin Vortemart. She wears jersey number 4. And I had her in the books for 10, is that right?
Yeah.
So 10 points, but also great job on rebounding and defense. And it's been an all Vortemart weekend here on NKTelco Sports. Miles Vortemart last night dropped a 33-point bomb on Piqua in a Sidney loss. So congratulations to Larkin Vortemart, the NKTelco player of the game.
And Sidney moves to 12-3 on the season. They'll be back in action tomorrow at Pickerington Central against Fort Erie International, based out of Canada. And they'll face them tomorrow at Pickerington Central High School for Stebbins. They fall to 4-11 on the season, 3-9 in the Miami Valley League. They'll be back in Miami Valley League action, playing host to the Greenville Green Wave at Stebbins High School. So that'll do it for us here tonight. The Sidney Yellow Jackets defeat the Stebbins Indians 54-17. For Scott Fry, I'm Brandon Coverman saying we'll catch you here next time on NKTelco Sports.